people struggling out there, feeling at a loss as to what do I do? I'm saddled with having studied this particular subject matter, and there is no place for me out there in the marketplace. Perhaps there's something you're missing, and you need to take a more strategic view of your skill set, your passion, your interest, and create your own convergence. And Mazi, I believe that's the point that you made in your last remarks.
Correct.
So still talking about strategy.
Yeah.
I can imagine how challenging and how harrowing it must have been for a young Sam Ohaboa to be shortlisted into the Biafran army.
Yeah.
That was 1967, I believe.
That's when the war started.
When the war started.
But I got into the army in 69.
In 69. So I've been conscripted at such
a young age. I
wasn't
conscripted.
Okay.
I volunteered.
Okay, you volunteered.
I actually volunteered in 68.
68, okay.
You know, should I take it from there?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, when the war started in 67, I was in Form 4. Yeah, so.
And how old were you then?
Form 4, I was just 16 years.
16?
Yes. 66. The war started in 67, July. I was still 16. I became 17 in August. So we were hoping that it would be a short. That's what they told us in school. Just go home. Your teachers are involved in war affairs. You'll come back. So we sat down, started reading. It wasn't working. We started all manner of things. I had a conviction on the righteousness of the Biafran situation. So I volunteered to support the effort. In fact, when I went for my first selection at Bonimo Wharf to enter the Navy in 1967, September or October.
That's in Rivers State?
Yeah, Rivers State. I lived in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So the guys asked me how old I was. I said I was 17. I said 17, I want to join the Navy. Please go and wait after the war. If you want to join Navy, you join. I left. But you know, later on in the Biafra, even who are 14 were being conscripted or 13. So in 68, there was an opportunity to volunteer, what they call Port Harcourt volunteers, to go and do some work in Enugu. I volunteered. That was where now from there I went to the army fully. So I was not conscripted. I joined the army by my own volition.
So were you not afraid in terms of the possible dire consequences and risk to your life?
I was not. There's something about conviction. When I saw the beheaded head of people from this southeastern Nigeria that were being shipped from the north, coming with our heads, some with our breasts. And I had watched all the efforts made to reconcile Nigeria. After the July 1967 second coup, it was supposed to be a revenge coup because the January 66 was regarded as pro-Igbo coup. So this was the pro-Northern coup. And they killed all the soldiers, killed Ironsi, killed everybody. If it ended there, there would have been no war. But the battle was taken outside the barracks. Civilians were now being killed in Kano, in many parts of the north. And that's what started the trouble. Effort was made to reconcile. Ojukwu asked everybody to go back. People ran away. September, they went back, and a second program happened. People who survived the first one, Ojukwu assured them that all was well. They went back to, the people from the south is like to travel. They are the most strongest believers in Nigeria. So they moved back. Then there was a second program. And what was when I now was in Enugu, and I saw at the stations people coming back. So when somebody fights you in his territory, you run to your own territory. He follows you. What are you supposed to do? You either accept me as part of and give me peace, or allow me go to my own way. It's as simple. That was my logic, and that logic still remains today. If we want a country like a country that is mutually acceptable to everybody, where we want to be happy, that's the basis of my New Nigeria group. Let's make a new Nigeria where everybody will be treated equally. So it's the same thing. When it wasn't happening and they needed us to go and fight, to defend ourselves, especially when the federal forces came to say, we want to force you back to Nigeria. Yet, even Aburi Accord, you will not accept anything that would make us have peace. So we went to war with that. I didn't care. I wasn't worried about my my own safety. My conviction was that we would not allow ourselves to be beaten outside, driven away. You come back to your own enclave, and you also be self-defense. What else are you supposed to do? So Biafra, I went there in self-defense, and of course, I did my utmost, you know, and I give God the glory that I survived. Of course, I had a bullet wound. I was shot. I still carried a scar, but God saved me. And but the war was a great learning.
Yes, that's.
First is that it's helped me to destroy fear. I lost 90% of fear because if you are walking to a war front, people are being killed. In fact, the first day I went to the war front, boy, I was trained as an officer, you know, and I didn't finish my training. We were harvested prematurely and then brought to the war front, commissioned, and then was said as a second lieutenant. The first person I met was the commanding officer then, Achuzia. He gave me something. He said, look, in this war, there are two enemies. There's one enemy in the front, there's one enemy behind. The enemy in front, you can kill him or he kills you. But the enemy behind will kill you. There's no opportunity to kill the enemy behind. So choose where you want to stay. You want to stay in front and face the enemy in front, or come back and face the enemy behind. Who was the enemy behind? Himself. So it means go. Don't run back. You know, I mean,
So clearly, like, your bridges have been burned.
No, there's nowhere. There's no
retreat, no surrender. More or less.
Even I told the guy he sold my mind. I say, you're crazy. I don't have anything to do with any enemy behind. I'm going to go and come back. So that was indoctrination that took me. So I was determined to succeed, defend myself, achieve the objectives. In fact, it was irreversible. I remember one particular occasion where we had to retreat because of very difficult terrain and the strength of the opposing soldiers. We retreated. Our commander met us there and said, on your marks, go. We should go back to that place we came back for, whether anything. So we are running. We even waded through water because he was going to fire you if he met you. So we ran back and into our. So I lost fear. Number two, I learned perseverance and adaptability. You know, during the war, at a particular time, even talking about that time I started the war in Uzuakoli, it was early in the year. They've just finished planting the yams and all that and creating mounds. It was open field. Our only protection was lying below the mound. And then there'll be rain. So the water from the mound will soak on your body while you're lying down and firing. You know, for weeks you won't have food because in fact, I was the ones, it took 2 weeks to bring us food. And when they brought the food, boiled yam, if you open the yam, it became so gummy that you couldn't break it. The gums will hold the yam. Still, we ate 2 weeks old gummy yam. Where did we get water to drink? Water that gathered on the ground, you know, in between two mounds. You collect the water and drink. When you go through that, you don't see any obstacles. You don't see any real serious inhibition to achieving your targets and goals.
Wow, that's so amazing. Yeah. And transferring all of that into corporate life.
Yeah.
Would you say that was one of the bases upon which you were so daring?
Yeah.
So daring as to tell a old fighter, that, look, we're going to buy you out.
Yes.
We're going to buy you out. A bunch of management executives who didn't even have
$1
the money. In the very heart of the June 12 scenario, the very heart of the June 12 crisis back then, with all of the economic problems, and you stuck your neck out. Tell us a bit about that. How you became the first Nigerian company. It was the first of its kind.
Yeah, first management buyer.
Yes, management buyer. How did that happen?
Well, first is, like I said, the
courage to do that.
Combine the lessons from my parental and school to the war. The war, if the war wasn't that people can die, I will recommend it for everybody. Because the preparation of the war, you can't get it anywhere. It's practice. First, accomplishing, achieving.
Yes,
you have targets.
Objectives,
You have to get that territory. You have to get it. You have to strategy, because you have to plan. The strategy, for example, which I used in one of my most successful battles, was two successful battles. The first was what led to my promotion from a second lieutenant to local captain, and the battle that, my last battle, there were two successful battles. Was successful even though I had wound. That was successful. Strategy. Now I don't know if I have time to just mention that. First strategy, when I did my first, because I was in a war front where we came from another unit to the Aba area. The CEO of our battalion was from that area. So he was bent on showing capacity to liberate his area. We started to fight. He died. He was killed. So then later on, my company commander was killed in the battle. So I immediately became company commander. I was just a platoon commander. I became company commander. My battalion commander has died. My company commander had died. So I was now come to command. And Brigade Headquarters say continue the fight to liberate. There was one market they call it Kapara market on the way to Aba. We want to go launch into Aba. I said, okay, this want everybody to die. Anyone that takes the commander of battalion, you can imagine the number of other non-commissioned and commissioned officers that will have died before the commanding officer would die. Then the battalion commander died. So I told my boys what I told. I said, everybody sit in this. They want us to die. We can't die, all of us. So we sat on our trenches. I say, everybody raise your gun and be shooting. So that they'll be hearing us shoot, but nobody is going to kill anybody. However, after I did that for a while, I told myself this won't go anywhere. So I began to strategize. And I discovered that the enemy in front of us was tough. We were confronting him. What did I do? We've been fighting for, a battle that we came and started fighting for days and weeks. So everybody was getting weary. We were suffering casualties. There were also suffering casualties. So what did I do? I got a strategy. I selected a crack team of 12 soldiers, 14, to go and harass them. I call it a harass. So this is the front where we've been fighting with them. So I took this people to a flank. Then from the flank, they fired them, and we had very strong firing. That flank battle rattled them because it took them by surprise. What did they do? They jumped from their trenches and began to run. When I saw the start run, I came back and recruited my men. We pursued them. That day we covered almost 7 kilometers.
Wow.
We got to high school, which was a major. After that operation, I became like a star. Look, the unit who came that we replaced had been in the position for 6 months. They didn't get 1 inch. But in one day, I did 7 kilometers. It was beyond me. I just don't know how it happened. But That was a strategy that worked
Strategy,
up.
yes.
We hit them from the flank, from the side, where they were not expecting an attack. And the attack was strong. And I mean, it was like what happened to some biblical story where they had beggars, you remember, walking.
Yes.
And people said
thought,
a big army was there. And they ran away. It was exactly what happened.
So strategy, it seems to me that we keep coming back to strategy.
Yeah.
And it seems to
Yeah.
me also that a lot of what you learned in strategy, which we've seen in your corporate life,
Yeah.
in very significant terms,
Yeah.
a lot of that
Yeah.
you learned during your time in the military.
It was helpful. You know, I had grown and I didn't honed it. What I did was to apply them also in the corporate world. One of the things that worked for me is, you know, the power of vision. When I joined Pfizer, I did not plan to make a full career. I planned to spend 5 years and understand how Pfizer operates so I can go set up my own business with my uncle who had already brought money. He wanted me. I said, no, let me go and get experience. So he said, how much time do you want? I said 3 to 5 years. He said 3. But by the 5th year, I had become a senior manager. I couldn't leave anymore. And I had to change my strategy. The next thing I did was to now aspire to become chairman and CEO
Of Pfizer.
of
All right.
Pfizer.
Uncle
So,
Sam,
yeah.
we're going to, I
break.
want you to hold that thought.
Yes.
Let's go for a quick break.
All right.
In the world of professional speaking, there is a gold standard, a mark of excellence recognized globally. It's called the Certified Speaking Professional, CSP, a designation held by less than 17% of the world's professional speakers. And in Nigeria, only one man holds this coveted title. Meet Ubong Essien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional, Nigeria's #1 authority on public speaking and communication mastery. The CSP is not just a title, it's a promise. A promise to deliver solutions to the challenges even the high and mighty face in today's demanding world. Overcoming stage fright and anxiety. Crafting and delivering messages with clarity and power. Inspiring and influencing audiences in boardrooms, conferences, and beyond. When you work with Ubong Essien, CSP, you don't just learn how to speak, you learn how to lead, influence, and excel. Here's what you stand to gain. Confidence to own any stage. The ability to craft messages that resonate and inspire. Connect with West Africa's only certified speaking professional today. Speak with power. Lead with influence. The gold standard awaits you.
To register, call 0802-303-2066, 0706-160-6078, or visit www.schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Journey to the Top, right here on the Achievement Channel. And we've been having a very inspiring, and I would dare say as well, life-transforming conversation with no less a person than Mazi Sam Ohabwa. He's talked about strategy, he's even mentioned the principle of the objective, he's mentioned creating a team, he's mentioned determination, loss of fear in the face of danger, the energy, the resilience, the determination to move on towards the achievement of one's goals, as learned during his time serving in the military. And we want to continue that conversation. Mazi,
Yeah.
I remember my conversation with you in 2001.
Yeah.
Then you were MD of NIMET.
Yeah.
And I was very curious to know how you rose to become the chief executive.
Yeah.
That was one mountain that you conquered.
Yes.
Because your journey to the top has many sides
Yeah.
to it. The corporate side is one.
Yeah.
The social enterprise is another. And of course, the ministry side
And the
is
national,
another. And then, of course, the national side,
side,
as well. Yeah. So you have continued to conquer peak after peak after peak.
Hallelujah.
And so there is a lot we can learn from you.
Yeah.
During that interview, I can still remember the younger version of myself.
Yeah.
Trying to understand how a salesperson
Yeah.
became CEO of Nimeth.
Yeah.
And I remember you said something that never left me.
Okay.
I use that a lot in the
teaching.
program called The Challenge to Perform that I teach to companies when they ask me to come and inspire performance.
Yeah.
You said, whenever my superiors asked me to deliver 10, I always made sure I delivered 15.
Or 20.
Or 20.
Yeah.
I just could not trust their tendencies to discount my performance. Because if they ask me to deliver 10 and I deliver 10, only for the guy to say, after all, that territory you went to, I was the one that gave you the contact.
Yes.
And then they bring me down to 7, I would have accomplished nothing.
I say you will be their targets.
Absolutely. And I found that so instructive. I know it's a principle that has helped me. In fact, in my training sessions, I refer to it as the detractors discount. Yes, because in life you will have those who are detractors.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. How did you come about that philosophy?
Yeah.
And how did it step by step help you to the top at Nimeth?
Thank you. It is the strategy of being conscious of challenges you are about to face. You have to survey your environment, what they call environmental analysis. And it started early with me. Again, maybe it's also the war training, because you have to survey your environment, know who you're, measure the strength. The SWOT analysis we'll talk about today. In the military is the first thing, because you don't enter into a war blindly. They'll kill you. You must know who you are fighting, his competencies, the size of his ammunition, size of his army, and then you devise how to use small army to defeat a big army. That's a full story. But it helped me when I joined Pfizer. First is that I had a vision. That was a major issue. 5 years, I quit. So when I was walking around doing things like this Armor Against Faith, that's helped me. It was part of the understanding of my environment, how to conquer that environment. I came to a place I knew there was plenty of hostility. Just after the war, all manner of things were still going around, biases. So I said, no, nobody's going to sabotage my work or underestimate my performance. So in order to do so, I will exceed your expectation. And because when I exceed your expectation, you have no choice but to accept. And that's what I did. It helped me so very much. It was we call it magic wand. Because when my guys are struggling to achieve one, because it's sometimes about the same effort, but your focus. Achieving one, I'm achieving 1.5, 1.6, 1.8. Consistently, they're wondering how I'm doing it. Because the moment you give me one, I cancel it and put two. So I don't ever think about one. I'm thinking about two. Because where your thoughts are, that's where you're going. Where you're looking at, where you're going to go to. And that's the exemplification. So that helped me to achieve this 5-year vision of knowing everything about Pfizer so that I can go start my business. But in the process of knowing everything about Pfizer, I got promoted so rapidly that I got to a point it was difficult for me to exit. And I changed strategy. And I said, okay, I'm going to stay. I told my uncle, look, forget it. I'm no longer coming to do business. He was disappointed, but he understood. And I said, now I want to aspire to be the chairman and CEO of the company.
So there's nothing wrong in being so aspirational.
No, I was aspiration. The picture I took with my chairman at 5-year-old
salesman,
when he was giving me my 5-year long service award, where he encouraged me because he said, Sam, have you been only 5 years here? I said, yeah. He said, your impact is as if you've been here 10 years. My son, you're doing well, keep it up. The sky is your limit. That's motivational talk fired me. I said no. I can't, after this motivation, the next week I said I'm resigning, because that was my plan. This was December. My plan was to resign in January, 84. So I took the picture, put behind my desk in the office, and then I walked in the morning, I looked at that picture and said, God, someday I'm going to be like this guy.
That's
10 years from that, I became the chairman and CEO. So it's like magic, but it works, because I had envisioned what I wanted to be, and I was ready to pay the price. It's not just daydreaming. Everything I did was directed to reaching that goal. And luckily, since I was in a business where they measure outcomes, they measure results, so it was between me and myself and the results. And so it was easy.
This is Journey to the Top with me, Mr. Motivator. Only on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first all-motivational TV platform, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence in Lagos. Your journey starts now.
Welcome back. It's still Journey to the Top, and this is becoming more of a master class with a man who is a master himself, a man I cherish so much as a mentor, who's mentored me, helped me to where I am today. I'm talking about no less a person than Mazi Sab Ohabua. Mazi, we've just been continuing and continuing. I think a day will come when we'll just have it for an entire day, and we'll live stream.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
A master class, modules upon modules upon modules.
Yeah, sure.
So let's, because I've been told by my producer that this has got to be the last segment, but I would not want you to leave without talking about that very major setback that Nimet had. Were you expecting it? What really happened? And that was a season of major losses.
Yeah, it was. There were two major issues I'll just quite touch about. One is this fire, which was in the, nobody ever prepares for fire. But we found that it happened, and we lost equipment, we lost materials. It almost crippled the company. And what was more, we didn't have adequate insurance. Fire is not what you see in one day. So when we made insurance, maybe we insured for 300 million naira. The value of the asset now is 2 billion, but we did not adjust. So it was terrible. But again, the major issue is that once you have a strong faith, I'm not trying to be religious, but if you have a strong faith and capacity, there's nothing you can't turn around. Because I remember one story during the war, when the war ended. Some people who were rich men in Port Harcourt in those days suddenly started having money again. I asked my father, I say, how come we're hearing about these people again, again and another? My father said, the point is that these guys know the routes that money passes. So they know how to lay traps. So that method they used before the war, they have applied it again, and they're laying traps and the money is coming in. So if we were able to get to where we got while the fire came, all we did is to adjust and do again what we did, because we have known the pattern to get back. We talked to the insurers, they were able to pay the bid well. We talked to the banks, we talked to our creditors, we talked to our suppliers. They offered us more credit. It gave us more. Some bankers gave us some bit of forgiveness or, forbearance. We elicited support because people are willing to help you, but you need to ask for the help. I keep saying that some people die in their mistakes. They don't even want to say, I'm sorry. No, I've missed it. They are too proud. So pride is something that destroys your ability to recover. We came down, admitted our mistakes, admitted our faults, and when people were willing to listen to us, and so we harnessed and harvested that goodwill, first from the goodwill we have long established, and then the promise of a better tomorrow, and that was a big.
So from the ashes,
we rose again. The other point I want to mention is the other problem we faced, and I forgot it. If you remember, there was this popular Kano issue of the Trovan study. There was a study we did of a new product in our final closing years as Pfizer,
yes.
1995, 96, which eventually turned when people now say the drug killed people and they badmouthed Pfizer, went to court, went to all those places. But we're able
Those are
to
legacy issues that you have to deal
we're
with.
able to overcome that because the truth of the matter is that first is we told the truth, we had the documentation, and we're able to present even from the Kano government that took us to court and the federal government. We're able to show that it was corruption being turned upside down because some people wanted to corrupt us because they gave us some leeway, some approval, but those approvals were not documented. So when they asked for money we couldn't give them, they went back and said we're doing certain things without approval. But we were able to produce the documents. Even the DNA, when they say there was many people were killed. This was a trial we did with 200 people, 100 on Trovan, 100 on Rocephin, which was the comparative. And out of this, only 13 people died. 6 from the Trovan and 7 from the Rocephin, which was an already established drug. And then we gave when they were saying thousands, there was no way it was thousands. We produced DNA. In fact, even when Pfizer provided some relief for those who took the medicine, we found that nobody could claim because those who took the medicine have moved on. All the other pretenders, their DNA could not match. So what am I trying to draw attention to is that, do not be afraid of accusation. People are going to accuse you for anything, rightly or wrongly, but make sure they can't prove it. Any time in life, they will accuse you. You have done nothing, maybe because you're successful, they're jealous, they can't compete with you, probably look for accusation. Don't worry. Don't lose. Just be sure that whatever you're doing, have the appropriate documentation because evidence must be provided. Even if a court sent you to jail, when you haven't done it in the appeal court, the Supreme Court will bring you out. That's a lesson there, and I want people to learn. Be deliberate in what you're doing and put the proper documentation. You never know when it will arrive. I used it in Shopee. When the federal government was saying after Buhari came, who were saying we've lost, Shopee money was lost. And they invited us to the National Assembly. I brought the documents, which I had put in a book. When they saw the book, they said go, and that was the end. Then, of course, you were asking about the kind of things we were doing subsequently.
Yes,
I moved on pro-retirement into Sufi, which was a way of giving back, and my pet area of entrepreneurship. Because I've always believed that is what is going to bring salvation for the young people in this country and also for the nation. As many more people that can be self-employed, creating wealth, then the country becomes a good place to live in. I mean, look at what you're doing. Look at the people you're employing, and you started early in life to become an entrepreneur, even if you worked for anybody at all.
I worked 3 years ago.
So that's the way it is. And so it's my pet. It's still growing up. But when I now formed the New Nigeria Group, which was my political organization, that I didn't put too much focus on. I'm returning to it now. That took my time because I had always been disturbed about our country and its chronic underdevelopment, its lack of competitiveness. I had become tired of being told that I come from a third world. Since I was born 70-something years ago, I'm still a third world nation. I'm saying, when are we going to become first world? Especially when other countries have become self-world. That first world, that one led me to the New Nigeria Group, and then eventually became the platform for me to try my hands in the presidential primaries of 2022-2023. It was a great lesson in understanding Nigerian politics. But it's the same courage that I have come with. I mean, people were surprised. I hadn't been governor, I hadn't been the senator, I hadn't been nothing. The first political attempt was to be a president. I mean, it was, you must be a joker, but we went through it. went around the country. So first you must have what you believe in, and then you must have the courage and the conviction. And it's goodwill. I have not, you have worked at least for government 3 years. The other time you were working for Nemasa. So you have a bit of experience. Yes. I have never worked for government, but I've been close to the public sector. I've held, I've been a board chairman of teaching hospitals, of polytechnics.
And then the shop here.
I've served, even before the shop here, I've been in the National Health Insurance, National Manpower Board. You know, I've served in several boards of the government, so I'm familiar. Then, of course, the ESG interaction, the public-private sector interaction, also gave me an opening to really understand and know what the issues are in the country. So I'm still committed to doing what I can to help our country become a better country, because we have no other country. Right. But I'm doing so from where I stand, because I believe that I may not be president, I may not be governor, but where I stand, I am the governor. Right. I am the president, starting from my house to the concentric circles where I influence. So I try to model that Nigeria of our dream. And that is why I spend a lot of time with young people who I believe will continue the battle. You talked about succession. I'm a man with always a view that we're going to be here just for a while. So what are you taking away and what are you leaving behind? And one of the greatest things I have said, and I keep saying, the greatest legacy is not in buildings. The greatest legacy is in human beings. What you have said about me today, I don't know how much I'm going to pay to a publicist to say that, or to give this unsolicited. And that is what life is all about. If I was dead today and you were at my graveyard or a tribute, what you say today will be what you say, perhaps with more embellishment. Absolutely. For me, that is legacy now. You know, so I'm investing my time and energy, making sure I'm impacting lives, impacting institutions, and helping this nation to become a better place. No one man can solve all the problem. No one man can change the situation, but make sure you're making a contribution. And that's why I think I want to encourage you and people like you, you know, never underrate yourself, never underestimate your contribution, but you must build a foundation. You should not come to this world and act as if you were a passenger or an observer. You must come into this world determined to fulfill your destiny. You have a destiny, you have a purpose, but it's in you to plan how that destiny, how that purpose will be fulfilled. You have to be intentional, you have to be methodical and trusting, and then learn from other people. It helps you to reach that goal and be what God has made you to be.
Wow, Mazi, what a finale. Because I was going to ask you a question. What words do you have for those who are seeing you at the top and want to also continue their journey? Yeah. But clearly, you should be a broadcaster. You can be a broadcaster. I guess that journalistic bit of you suddenly came to fore.
Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough, Uncle Sam.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today.
What an extraordinary start to the journey to the top. Broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Lagos on the Achievement Channel. This episode has set the stage for what promises to be a year of limitless possibilities. Mazi Sam Ohabo's story reminds us that the very best way to predict the future is actually to create it. So as we step boldly into 2025, let this be the year that you take control of your destiny and climb even higher than you ever thought possible. Here is one last thought to carry with you Every new year offers you 365 blank pages. Write a story worth reading because the top is reserved. Go back a little bit. Let me just say. Okay, that's fine. Here's one last thought to carry with you. Every new year offers you 365 blank pages. So write a story worth reading. The top is not reserved for the lucky. It's for those who work, who persevere, and never stop believing in themselves. Thank you for joining us on this inaugural journey. I am Mr. Motivator, and it has been an honor to share this moment with you. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and remember, the climb is always worth it. Here is to a transformative 2025. Happy New Year once again.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
In a world full of speakers, there's only one certified speaking professional in West Africa. Meet Abong Essien, the globally certified coach helping Nigeria's leaders, professionals, and executives speak with power and lead with eloquence. He's trained thousands, built confidence, delivered transformation for over 25 years. At the NSA convention in the US, success legend Brian Tracy said, Abong is one of the very best speakers in the world. Now you can learn directly from the best.
Hello, my name is Brian Tracy, and I just want to talk about my friend Ubong, one of the very best speakers in the world today.
The only CSP, the gold standard, one-on-one coaching, elite masterclasses, corporate clinics. This is the voice advantage. Abong Essien, helping you speak with power and purpose. Abong Essien, CSP, West Africa's only certified speaking professional. For contact info, visit us at www.schoolofeloquence.org, address 36B, Royal Palm Drive, Osborne Foreshore Phase 2, Ikoyi, Lagos. Contact 706-160-6078. Abong Essien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional.
Imagine a world transformed by the power of giving, where every act of kindness sparks another. These are the champions who dedicate their lives to change. Together, they are paying it forward. Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Hello and welcome to Champions of Change on the Achievement Channel, your home for inspirational stories that spark impact and transformation. We are broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I'm your host, Pamela Igbo, and on this program, we shine a light on individuals who are creating powerful change through nonprofit work and social impact. People who are not just chasing success, but significance. Today, we are joined by a powerhouse of vision and compassion, Dr. Christiana Ime Amida, Executive Director at Lekki Gardens Estate and the dynamic founder of Foundation de Christi, a nonprofit organization committed to health and hygiene of women and girls. With over 17 years of experience in real estate and a dream to touch 10 million lives, she's truly a champion of change. Let's dive into her inspiring journey.
Champions of change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome, Christy, to Champions of Change. It's great to have you here.
Thanks a lot for having me, Pam. It's a pleasure to be here myself.
Fantastic. So I'm really inspired by you. You are the Executive Director for Lekki Gardens Limited. So you're into real estate.
That's correct.
But I know that your real passion is your foundation, which is Foundation de Christie. Did I say it well?
Absolutely. well
And
done.
it is a foundation that focuses on women and girls' hygiene and well-being.
Correct.
So what I want to know is, why did you start it? What inspired you to start it, and why that particular area?
Thanks, Pam, for the question. Thank you for having me once again. So for me, starting Foundation de Christie was basically from a personal experience. Growing up as a younger woman, I had experienced several challenges in terms of menstrual pain, heavy bleeding. In fact, I missed school. On several days, I had to hide away in the laboratory, just to avoid classes. And aside that, my experience as a teacher during my youth service days, I served in Benue, or B local government to be precise. And I had about 200 students under my belt. I was supposed to train them, give them, of course, great education. But over time, I started building relationships with them, and I noticed that girls were missing classes. I had about 85 girls in my classes. I had 4 classes, to be precise. And I would notice that per month, say 7 girls would be away from class, missing important topics. I saw firsthand how it impacted their that's continuous assessment. Aside that, I remember also being part of women fellowship, and sometimes you hear a sister is not in church because she's not feeling too well, and everybody would pray for her. So prayer became the method to solving menstrual hygiene problems. So I saw so much, and for somebody like me, I was not able to just stand there and sympathize. I had to do something. I had to act, to make a difference. So that was what spurred me. And so, to be specific, sometime in 2020, COVID year, that was when I launched. It was my birthday, April 2020, and I was wondering what I'd do differently. And somehow it dropped again, like a divine inspiration, right. I must say, like, it's time for you to, keep your word. Because I had said earlier as a younger girl that if I can go through this, then I would make sure I help other women to go through it, less pain, understand their bodies, become more aware of their menstrual hygiene, health, and wellness. So
amazing how you started this from a personal experience. So what I want to know now is, it is a real issue. A lot of young girls having, pain during their menstrual periods, and like you said, how it affects their livelihood, how it affects their education. It's a real thing. So what kind of programs do you do, or outreach do you do to help solve this problem?
Oh, great. For us at Foundation de Christie, we know that education is a preparation tool. Training the girls, teaching girls about their bodies, telling them what to expect during the period, what ovulation is about. It's egg release from your ovaries. That's what it is. And you should have certain, maybe mood swings for some people, headaches for some people, what to expect during this period. So we go the extra mile to train, because that's the most important thing. And after the training, the coaching, we go on to distribute our hygienic products